How to address I'm not good enough belief. See, many Asians, including myself, I have this belief that I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. How does this belief is uh, become something that I believe in? Well, usually people will only acknowledge great achievement. So the question is, do you acknowledge the small win? Let me give you an example. Right? In 2023, a company, Creative Wise, was acknowledged as one of the top contributors in the first National Journal Week 2023. Yes, we win the awards, recognition from Community Super. Was it by chance? Definitely not. Now, pause for a moment. How does this happen? Or you see that, say in front of many, to give a training on Excel, Excel 365, team building, leadership, and many more. But how all this become possible? It's all because that I had some small win back in 2008. This is a small win, but at that time, I mean, nothing, right? My parents say it's nothing. But I would think that perhaps that at that time, my managing director, Daniel Wong, has acknowledged that moment and give me a boost. My managing director at the time, Daniel, was a great NLP technician. He understands something which I don't know at the time. Of all my life before that moment, my success, my small win was never acknowledged. So, small win was not acknowledged. How to have a bigger win, and this and more. So I reflect back on my last week learning, right? Just 7 days ago, right? Yes, this diagram is very important to me, right? Because every time I feel being challenged, right? It's because of I overbelieve that I am not good enough. This is not only me, right? It's very common in the Asian culture. We were taught by a Chinese were saying that 小时了了，大未必佳. So because of that saying, we don't praise our kids. We so believe in this saying that it comes with a story. And then that story helps us to believe that if we will praise the small cleverness when you're a child, right, it will result that when they grow up, they'll become nobody. But this story has this flaw. Because if you look at the nature, it wasn't like that. A giant tree was really grown from a very tiny seed. A masterpiece of a book, a best-selling author, was really start from a small thought, a verse, single word. Your start from I. So when we were child, we can walk. And that's just a small win. Does it praise all the time? Perhaps no. And of course, nobody will praise you. Oh, now you can walk. But does it worth us to acknowledge that, right? Even that nobody will acknowledge your small win, right? Or it's like my son, who's learned to write in his datika. Did I praise him? Genuinely? No. Because if I cannot acknowledge my own small win, it would be very hard for me to acknowledge my kids. Oh, he can write. And the same goes to my second child. No one has ever acknowledged their effort. So then they resort to watching them. Now, my first intern, Arthur Young. So they were in the first day. I taught him priority management. And then I have said this, and then I asked him to write this in LinkedIn as a track record. And let's take a look. Now, all right, at this time, I about just give a like. But after 90 days of internship, yes, on Friday was the last day. And what did they write? And there are many things. Now, because I acknowledge his effort virtually day by day, that's why he can perform. Many people, many managers, many leaders, they don't acknowledge their supervisors' efforts. They only recognize result. They don't recognize effort. So this is why many fail. Now, how is that this was created, this belief? I'm not good enough. But out of that is one of that is that we will not train to recognize small wins. Even I know that the small win was the result of a big will lead to a big success. My mind was conditioned to believe that only big achievements matter. Why? Because small efforts were never acknowledged by the people around you. Parents, managers, or friends. Now even the acknowledge, there's another pitfall. Because when we were child, at the time, when we achieve something small, our brain automatically dismiss it. That's the pitfall because it's never learned that small wins have value. When we were 5 years old, we were 6 years old, we never learned that small wins have value. We don't acknowledge it. So how to shift this belief? First, realize that big success is just a stack of small wins. Without those tiny steps, the big goal never happens. Oh, by the way, in 90 days, my first intern has helped the company to collect over 400 leads. In 90 days, 400 leads. But watch what? In the first day itself, he got a 5 sales leads. 90 days, 5. How is it consistent doing it? You see that? I'm saying that big success was really big. Over 400 leads. This is a huge, big win. But it all started with 5 leads. Without those tiny steps, the big goals will never happen. If you dismiss small wins, you're actually dismissing the entire process of success. I repeat, if you dismiss small wins, you're actually dismissing the entire process of success. Now I can set a goal of, achieving 300 leads in the 90 days. Or I can even say 1,000 leads, right? If you don't achieve it, right, you're a loser. But look, if I dismiss the first 5 leads, if I don't acknowledge the small wins that Arthur Young has got, right, 5 leads, it will not possible for him to continue calling. So that's the thing, right? We always see that the big success in all companies. Second, challenge the belief directly. How to do that? Ask yourself, is it really true that small wins don't matter? Right, if your friends make a small step forward, would you tell them it's worth it? If your answer is, I treat yourself differently. Third, rewrite your response. Instead of just saying, it's just a small win. Say, this is part of my big success. If I tell my interns, right, on his first day, you got a 5 leads, it's just a small things, right? Don't brag about it. I think the second day he will not be here. Now what if I say that, at my first day I say that, wow, you got a 5 leads. This is part of your big success, of our big success, to reach the goal of 400 leads. I mean, at that time, people may think that it's impossible, but today, it's really a reality. See, this is part of my big success. Don't dismiss it. This is part of my big success. Every time you notice yourself dismissing a small effort, remind myself, without this, there's no big win. It's not easy to undo years of conditioning. It's not easy. I'm not saying that you can do it overnight. But once you start valuing small wins, you feel lighter, more validated, and less trapped by the need for constant, in fact, instant big achievements. If your school culture and parents only celebrate big achievements, your brain naturally adapt, thinking that small wins don't count. Right? That's is in my case. In Malaysia, right, our school culture, my parents are, in fact, we don't even celebrate any big achievement, right? Well, we have a birthday celebration, right? Each birthday, it become a routine, a duty, right? So no big deals, right? School culture, we're still, right? Our everyday small win, right? We write a single words or what, right? There's no recognition from a teacher. Well, we can't blame them because this is just a belief that they brought down from their previous generation. But you see that you weren't born with this belief. It was taught to you. You go to enter the Tatika, you enter the primary school, right? That was the first few moments that the teacher won't recognize your achievement. Won't recognize your small win, not achievement, right? Small win. Without a small win, there will be no great achievement. And here's the good news is that anything that was learned can be unlearned. It's just a matter of time. Your brain is like a muscle. It's just been trained. It's just been trained to skip small wins. Yes, we've been trained to skip small wins. Now you are retraining it. It won't change overnight. But with consistent small step, the rewiring will happen. But it takes some consistent step. So that's why there is this 7-day small win rewiring challenge. How? Right? How? Well, let's take a look. A daily practice. It takes less than 5 minutes. After you watch this, you gotta do some work. You could write down one small win each day. Even if it feels too small or unimportant, because remember that this is how you were wired at the moment, right? Because small win is not there. And then after you write down, say this out loud. Without small wins, there's no big success. This matters. Without small wins, there is no big success. This matters. And then feel the wins for 10 seconds. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let it sink in. Alright, so I recorded this video. That's why I write. That I say, without small wins, there's no big success. This matters. Without small wins, there's no big success. This matters. So, he won't do it for one day because The belief that I'm not good enough wasn't created in just one day. It was created over many days, right? So that's why the next 7 days, you got to deliberately do this thing. Day one. But one thing I did today that moved me forward, even slightly. Question the size, slightly. Even slightly. Day two, did I show up for someone or myself today? And I did record another video. Day three, what did I complete today? No matter how small, how insignificant, right, to manage. Day four, did I handle a situation better than before? Oh. Day five, what effort did I make today that would normally overlook? Day six, someone else did what I did today. What I tell them is a win. Day seven, look back at my past 6 days. What do I notice about myself? Yes, when you read this, when you do this, it's really take time. 10 seconds of feeling is important. So now you can write down your first win. Let's start immediately. What's one thing you did today that was a small win? Now you might think that, it's not easy, right? I show you that it's not easy to break that. Although you know, but you won't do it because why? It's not enough of evidence, right? Tony Robbins once says that, right? The belief is like a table, right? It depends on the legs. So if you want to believe, the belief is so strong. The old belief is so strong. If you want to break it, it's can't. So you're gonna put it in some new legs before you remove that leg. Otherwise, the belief will fall, right? So that's why I find out the 10 example of faith that start small but grow big over time. Many things, in fact, many things start small but grow big over time. Here's one. So a giant tree start from a tiny seed. Now pause for a moment. Is that true? A giant tree start from a tiny seed. Without the seed, there is no tree. Growth takes time. A book begins with a single word. Every bestseller starts with the first sentence. A successful business starts with one customer. Think again, right? A mama store, when they first started, it really started with one. Right? Amazon, also just an idea and one customer. Alibaba, the same. A fit and healthy body start with a single workout. No one gets strong overnight. Every push up, every step counts. A viral YouTube channel start with one video. Even the biggest YouTuber upload their first with no follower. Yeah, you think again, right? It's really the truth, right? There's no follower. You just started. And how do you motivate yourself? You motivate yourself, you can't say that, all right, I will become a greatest YouTuber, right? No, you don't say that, right? But that won't work because you got to first acknowledge your small win yourself, right? When nobody acknowledge it, you have to acknowledge it. So you have to go back and see that giant tree. It's really start from a tiny seed. Learn from the nature. A deep friendship starts with simple conversation. Every lifelong friendships begin with a hello. A master of any skill starts with a single practice session. Great musicians, athletes, trainers all start with the first attempt, which usually looks like it will fail. It will make a mistake. But that first attempt is what grows into a mastery. Without the first attempt, there is no mastery of any skill. No. A strong mindset starts with one positive thought. To repeating that one negative thought a day can reshape your entire life. It can reshape, right? So that would be the first thing. Just now we said that without small wins, there's no big success. This matter. Yeah. Without small win, there's no success. That is small matter. This matter. A movement starts with one person speaking up. Every major change in history began with someone taking a small stand. 10. Reviring your belief. Start with acknowledging one small win. That's what you're doing now. If you can start doing that, reviring your belief, start with acknowledge one small win. Now, if 10 is not enough, I have another 10. Right, so take for example a river. It starts with a single drop of water. Over time, drops merge to carve mountains and create powerful streams. It's called momentum. First start with one. A skyscraper. It starts with one brick. No massive building appears overnight. Each is built step by step. A happy relationship starts with one kind gesture. Trust and love grow from consistent small acts of care. A marathon is completed one step at a time. Even elite runners start with their first joint runs. A fluent speaker starts with learning one word. Every language is learned piece by piece, not all at once. Now I remember that my son Juan, right now he's learning the Chinese words. Yeah, it was difficult. No, not difficult, but if I give him a whole paragraph, that would not be possible. But one thing I did not do is that when he say the 就切 right, I did not recognize that this is a small win. I did not acknowledge it greatly. So guess what? There's no encouragement. Right? It's just a kid. Right? He can't self-acknowledge. It relies on the parents. If the parents don't do that, then who will? But if teachers don't do that, who will? A thriving gardens begin with planting a single seed. Regular watering and patience lead to a full growth. A profitable investment starts with a small deposit. Even millionaires begins with their first dollar saved or invest. A confident trainer starts by teaching one session. No expert starts as an expert. Confidence grows with experience. So if you want to be a confident trainer, I say that start with one. I guarantee your first one will be not as you expected. However, it's worth to be recognized as a small win. You have to recognize yourself. Or perhaps you engage a coach. Then the coach will teach you this, and then you can recognize yourself. A healed heart starts with one act of self-care. Even deep emotional wounds heal. Will take small steps towards self-love. As an adult, I need to practice self-love. But if you are kids, you got to be loved by your parents, by your teacher, in order to perform to the next level. The love is based on the small win. A peaceful mind starts with one mindful breath. Every great change in life starts with a single moment of awareness. If you want to change, it starts with the awareness first. The first step is awareness. And it all starts with one mindful breath. And here's more, if you want, right? A mountain starts as tiny grains of rock. Over millions of years, small deposits form something massive. A fire starts with a single spark. Even the biggest bonfire begins with one small flame. A best-selling product starts with a simple prototype. Every great invention, like an iPhone or Tesla, started as an idea in someone's mind. A best-selling musician starts by learning a single note. No one plays a full song on day one. Now, I am a pianist. Today I can play the skill, right? But when I first started, it just started with one sound. A strong body starts with eating one healthy meal. A lifetime of health is built on daily small choice. So, if somebody become weak in their body when they are age, when they're reaching, and they say that it's because of that one meal that caused me unhealthy, right? It would be very naive because everyone knows that it has built over time, except that they deny that fact. But denying will not make the situation better. A successful career start with the first job. No serious experts started at the top. That began at step one. For example, my intern. He has no single experience in telemarketing. And today, his achievements is speak for itself. Over 400 leads. And it's just the beginning. As he moved in to become ultimately a founder of his own company, it will start with that. A viral social media post start with one share. Even the biggest online trend begin with just one person noticing them. A personal transformation starts with one decision. Right, every life-changing moment begins when someone says, I'm going to change. If the person was saying that I'm going to change, and then you say that, no, he's just saying only, right? Guess what? I'm going to change is a one decision. And that will cause the next action. You may say, I'm going to change. But how do you cultivate? That's the leadership, next level. As a manager, as a leader. Those who follow you, you have to think about it. That's why it comes to self-leadership first. Because if you cannot recognize your own small wins, then how can you recognize there are others people's small wins? A peaceful home starts with one act of understanding. A kind word or action can transform relationship over time. It's not a single act, not a single time, and it turns into peaceful. A fulfilling life starts with one moment of gratitude. A single habit of appreciation can shift your entire perspective. Feel it. Right? You don't have to continue to watch this, right? If there's something that caught your attention, some of this example that caught your attention, then stop it and feel it. Yes, let's see another time. A legendary athlete start with first day of training. Michael Jordan's, Lee Chong-wei, these are some of the great athletes. But I read Lee Chong-wei, the number one world player at this time. It was really start with just one single stroke of this badminton. Right, Michael Jordan is the same, picking up a basketball for the first time. 2. A strong public speaker start by speaking to one person. Every tech speaker and world-class trainer once struggle with stage fright. Ever start with one person or two? Think again. Pause this video. All those tech speakers you see once day, they were that. But behind could be there is a coach that boosts up their confidence or explain to them, make them aware that this small win makes the difference. Today you see a lot of successful entrepreneurs. Right, they speak on the stage, they win awards. But a successful entrepreneur starts with one idea, one customer. Every great business empire started as a tiny, uncertain project. My team, Pfizer. Right, I understand that the first deal is that important. A first success deal is that important. And I fight for him. I'll make sure that he will get the deal. Right, with our support. And for that one deal, I told you again and again that without the first deal, there will be no second deal. There will be no third deal. And today, he's winning again more and more. With the first deal, he has the confidence to move, to travel even to Kamunding himself, right? That's the power of acknowledge a small win. Your first deal, the first small deal, relatively. Right? $1 million sales, it all come from the first deal. Today we do more deals with Simon. Right, Simon. And many other Simon. But all start with first deal, first discussion, first conversation. It was a long story. But I want to mention is that It's about the first discussion that we cultivate it and become a better one. A long journey starts with a single step. The Great Wall of China, 21,000 km long, was built brick by brick. And you want to step on the Great Wall of Step, right? You got to start with the first step. In Chinese, they say, 千里之行始于足下. Right? Or people in Malaysia who want to climb up the Mount Kinabalu, he has to first climb on the step on the mount, the foot of the mountain. A best-selling author starts with 1 page. You heard of a Harry Potter? It was written word by word, rejection after rejections. So word by word, a best-selling author. Many. 1 rejection after an rejection. You all start with that. So, number 6. A life-changing habit. Start with 1 conscious choice. Any major transformation, fitness, mindset, career, begins with a small shift. It's slow. A musical masterpiece starts with 1 note. Beethoven, Mozart, and every great composer begin with just 1 sound. A deep skill starts with 1 practice session. No one is a master in their first attempt. There is none. Mastery comes from small, repeated action, day by day, by themselves. And then when you see it, the master is say, he's just a luck, right? Asia would say that he's just luck. He just have more resources and so on, right? A fulfilling relationship start with 1 honest conversation. Every strong friendship, marriage, or partnership begins with a single connection. A global movement starts with 1 person taking a stand. Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, all begin as a lone voice for change. Alright, so here's another few. A peaceful mind starts with a single deep breath. You want a peace? Stay calm, a thought, and with an action. Every moment of clarity begins with just 1 conscious inhale. A life-changing decision starts with 1 moment of courage. Saying yes to something new, or no, or saying no to what's no longer serves you can shift everything. A happy childhood memory starts with 1 fun moment. Every amazing childhood experience started with a simple laugh, hug, or shared game. A great leader starts as a beginner. No one is born a leader. They say that, oh, he's a talented, right? He's a born leader. No one's born a leader. They all take 1 small step to inspire others. That's a myth, right? A smooth training session starts with 1 engaged participant. This bucket speaks to me because that if I train a 29 participant, I don't need to engage with all of them at one time. I just need to engage some, maybe just 1 engaged participant. And I don't need to win everyone. Why? Because 1 engaged learner can shift the energy, if we're just one, a stress-free life, stuff with one simplified task. Cutting out one unnecessary worry makes space for a lighter life. A repair relationship starts with one small act of kindness. A single text, smile, or kind gesture can break years of silence or tension. A new opportunity starts with one conversation. Most people find career breakthroughs, partnerships, or ideas from a single talk. That is the same that one writer, but he posted one note on the certain social media group, and from there, I started a conversation with her, and today, he delivered the first training for Community Wise. It will start with one single talk. A resilient mindset starts with one moment of self-compassion. When you forgive yourself for one small thing, you train yourself to handle bigger things. Yes, in life we will make mistakes, big or small, but I need to learn how to forgive myself, the small one. And I believe in yourself. Start with one tiny success. How do you say believe yourself? Not just to say that just believe yourself. No. You have to account that your one tiny success, your small win. Every great achiever was once unsure. But one small win convinced them to keep going. Right, the same goes to Faisal, Hafiz. Right, one small win convinced them to keep going, to keep getting stronger, right, in creative wise. That's leadership. Now here's, without you knowing, I already explained to you the 50 truths. Now your mind will not immediately accept it, right? And some will say that, no, just not there. But let it sink in. This is the truth. The truth will set you free. This 50 truth, providing that small step, are the foundation of all greatness. Think about it. Pause for a moment, 10 seconds. Before you sleep, reflect. Ask yourself, what one small step you will take tomorrow to rival your belief? Let that thought settle in and sleep with the truth that small wins lead to everything great. Small wins lead to everything great. So, I wasn't that convinced, right? I'm not sure about you. So I began to dig even deeper. Why do most people ignore small wins even when they clearly lead to big? You know that it's big to step here, right? Why? 5 reasons. The society rewards big achievement. As I told you, that in my country, right, Malaysia, or many Asian country, right, they celebrate Olympics gold medals, billion-dollar companies, viral success story. Did they ever say that? Oh, here's is XYZ bakery, right? This just started the first shop. Did anyone recognize that? No. No one talk about that. Oh, did anyone talk about that the day training, the struggle, or small breakthrough that led day? No one talk about that. Oh, you're a failure, right? I mean, this condition us to think only big wins matter. You see, that's how we conditioned by the society. Virtually everyone, most people are fall into this trap, and they install this into the mind, the belief, right? And this constantly compare with people who have a big wins. Their small win doesn't matter. Second, our brains are wired for immediate reward. Small win feels slow, don't give instant result. People chase big, quick wins. But real success is built from compounding small wins over time. Isn't that true, right? All great success comes from small wins. You got to recognize your own small wins. Even others don't. Our society don't do that. Childhood condition. No one prays for small progress. As I told you, right? Even I don't praise my kids. I don't praise my kids for small progress. Many of us will only praise for high grades, big accomplishment, or winning. If you got extra 5 marks on the test, did anyone celebrate? Probably not. Right. My kid has an improvement. Did I say anything? No. Why do I don't do that? Because I was conditioned in my last generation, right? That my teacher, my parents, I don't celebrate, right? And that's why I did the same for my kids. That's the wrong thing. I acknowledge I'm where this is wrong. Because why? This teaches that small progress isn't worth noticing. But with that small progress, how can we have a big success? How can we have a high grades? It's not about a lot more exercise, practice. No, it starts from that first. Our Asians like to say that practice more, you get better result. But the truth is, they will never be praised for a small progress. Once this belief is installed in the young mind, it is very hard to break. Just as me, myself, right? The fear of not doing enough. So, whether it's an adult or child, some people believe small wins means they could play small. They feel if they celebrate small steps, they might lose motivation to push harder. But the truth is, small wins fuel motivation, not killing it. It's a small win. In my first intern, right? Because of my first intern success, when I hired the second intern, well, great. Again, right? Well done, right? The second interns do well. So when I have a second intern, will I have a third intern, fourth intern? I'm pretty sure yes, because I have my first intern success. 90 years straight. Every single day, he reported on LinkedIn. It's true. Right. I let him write anything related to his small win, and then I acknowledge it publicly. That's called leadership. Comparison kills appreciation. If we compare our small progress to someone else's big success, we feel like we are failing. We will say that, right? When you are in chapter 1, don't compare with someone who already in their chapter 60, right? If you're in chapter 10, don't compare with someone where it is chapter 45. Because everyone is different timeline. So this makes us ignore our own small win because they don't feel impressive enough. But look again, you are in your chapter 20. Don't compare with someone in the chapter 40 and feel that, oh, I'll never be like them, right? It's just a matter of time. So how to change this? Here's the three strategy. Consistently celebrate your small win. Write down. The write down is one thing, right? Don't make it a routine, right? Understanding, recognize that. Watch this video again. Pause the video whenever you catch the aha moment. Even I will watch this video again to remind myself, to rewire that, to rewire your mind daily to value progress, not just result. The world might not celebrate small wins, but you can train yourself. You, right? The world might not. Many great CEO will not recognize that, right? They just don't. But you can train yourself. So how? I designed a 5-day small win rewiring challenge, right? How to do that? First of all, you have to recognize that you have the power. The power is within you. You have the power to train your mind to recognize and celebrate small wins. Unlike external validation, you see that if you are depending on external validation, it could be your parents, could be a teacher, could be your coach, could be your managers, could be your loved one, right, or your kids, right? You can't get control. But it's something that you can control. It's your mindset. You can control. Here's a simple actionable plan to train your mind. 5-day small win rewiring challenge. Each day, do one simple action to rewire your belief system. Right? Watch. Say it again, right? Each day, you pause it here, right? Right? Each day, you do a one simple action. It's the action. So day one, right? Day one is that you're going to do a small win journal. How is that happen? Right, write down one small win today. No matter how tiny is that. Here's an example. I recorded a video to remind myself how to face my deepest fear as a trainer. This trains your brain to notice progress instead of ignoring it. Day two, say it out loud. Right, at the end of the day, say a small win out loud. It may feel weird, it may feel discomfort, uncomfortable. Today, I handle a tough participant with a calm response instead of reacting. Here's an example. Say it out loud to yourself, right? If you can, look at the mirror and say this out loud. Speak it, reinforce belief. But we're conditioned that way, right? So by words, by sound, and that's how we get the information from the five senses, right? So day three, catch the not good enough thought. The moment you feel this is not enough, pause and ask, if I saw someone else doing this, would I say it's small and useless? I noticed this a lot in the new trainers, right? That, oh, this training is not good enough, right? They just said it. They didn't acknowledge their efforts. This happened to many. This helped you break the self-judgment loop. You see that? I told you that the Asians are great. It's just that they don't acknowledge their small wins. In fact, to me, it's very big wins. Day four, reframe your definition of success. Write one sentence defining success based on progress, not perfection. Right. Nobody born as a perfectionist. It was because that our nation, our culture create that. Success is not about one big moment. It's about consistent small steps. Success is not one big moment. It's about consistent small step. Now you write it down and you feel it and you think of a moment, or you can think about that a moment that someone, oh, you backtrack it, right? So look at somebody who can drive a car, right? Now remember that today you see so many people can drive a car so easily, right? But remember, many years ago, when they first learning how to drive a car, it was so uneasy. It was all started with the first small step, small mistake, and but today you see that they progress. So everything starts from small. Day five, acknowledge someone else's small win. Now this is harder to do. When you see someone making a small effort, acknowledge it. Can you do it? The many opportunity for you to do that on the LinkedIn, on the uh, on the Facebook, right? So they got a small win, and then because of we ourselves wired as we do acknowledge small wins, right? So we don't just say it, we don't acknowledge that um in the social media as well, right? So would you do it? Hey, I noticed you spoke up more today. That's a great step forward. When you train your brain to see small wins in others, you naturally see them in yourself, right? When you can train your brain to see small wins in others, you will naturally see them in yourself. When you give, you receive, right? So next, well, continue for 21 days for this 21 days for permanent shift. If you repeat these actions for 21 days, your brain will start valuing small wins automatically. The goal is to make it a habit, not just an exercise. Are you ready to start this challenge tomorrow? Repeat this action for 21 days. Your brain will start valuing small wins automatically. So it takes some time to rewrite it. And we can just start with the first one. Create a small win journal. Just write out just one small win today, no matter how tiny. If you're writing a words in a book, small wins matters. And that will create the momentum. Day two, say it out loud. Try to handle a tough. Day three, day four. Success is not about one big moment. It's about consistent, right? Really consistency, right? Thank you.